It's Donovan Everett from Cape Racing, and I'd just like to say it's an absolute pleasure to be involved with Intrabet and Cape Breeders in this golf day today here at Pearl Valley. It's fantastic for the industry to see all the relevant stakeholders coming down and having a good time and networking, and it's exactly what the industry needs right now in terms of moving forward and recreating some positivity to take us forward into the next year.
Well, it's time for the first feature on the afternoon, and this is the Grade 2 set to be run over 1400 meters. It is independent on Saturday, drill hall stakes over 1400 meters, 2:05 the time that you need to get all your bets on for the sixth race on the day. We've got two reruns lined up for you, that of Silver Operator when winning this race last year, and then of Gimme a Prince when he won on the 28th of March. And we've also got interviews here with Vaughan Marshall, Ricky Maingard, Peter Muscat and Dean Kannemeyer.
Stakes, and it's Ikigai, Ultra Magnus, Captain Fontaine, Seeking the Stars, Russian Rock, down on the inside, Silver Operator and Smorgasbord, coming to the last 100, Smorgasbord the leader, on the inside, Silver Operator, Russian Rock, Serrano on the outside, but it's Silver Operator and Russian Rock, Silver Operator, Russian Rock, oh it's too close, between 7 and 3, Silver Operator, Russian Rock.
Toldi, then comes Gimme a Prince, and between runners is Vungu. We're inside the final 200, they found across the track. Sergey in the middle, Gimme a Prince down the inside, but Toldi, Rio Karori is absolutely motoring home into the closing stages. Gimme a Prince, Rio Karori with one late lunge to the wire. Gimme a Prince from Rio Karori.
Yeah, it's actually a year, as you say. He's done a lot of work since he came back into work, and he's pretty fit. He might just be a little ring rusty, but he's fit enough, and I think he'll run a very good race.
Well, it's not his main objective, his main objective is in 5 weeks' time in the Gold Challenge over 1600, which is his best distance. So it's like a prep race for him. But having said that, the horse is extremely well. I think he's very close to the form he showed us before the King's Plate. So hopefully he runs a good race, but a little bit on the short side perhaps. And from 9 draw, it's not easy at Greyville 1400, but I'm sure he'll run a good race.
Yeah, it's a big no-no there, but look, he's very fit and very well. He ran a cracking race the other day, so that will bring him on. Unfortunately, the draw, as you say, is a bit wide, so we just need a bit of luck in running, and I'm sure he'll run into the money.
He's doing very well. He has progressed since his first up run, where I think he probably just went a tick too fast in the run. He capitulated late, but still boxed on well to run fourth, very close to the second place horse. So at one stage we thought he may have even held on for second, but he walked the last 50 or so. His fitness levels are better. He looks magnificent in himself. Once again, he has an awkward draw to contend with. There does appear to be quite genuine tempo in the race with numerous previous front runners in the race. But he's a big, long striding horse, and he likes to use that action. So I think we're still going to have to go forward with him. There's no point in restraining that stride of his. Hopefully he can get into a decent position early, have a little bit of a breather mid-race, and I think he'll finish his race off well under those circumstances.
Very unfortunate that we're badly drawn, and that's the card that Delta said. But he's got it. He's got the ratings. Probably one of the highest rated sprinters in the country, and I don't think the 1400 will be a problem. I think the draw is the major problem. A wonderful race. I know a lot of horses are preparing themselves for the season that lies ahead. But I've also got to start somewhere. I was in two minds: should I run him or shouldn't I run him from that draw? And there were other races and the Pinnacle Stakes and that, but it was a race always aimed at, and I thought, I'll start it off his Campania in the Drill Stakes, but that's, as I said, that's what they gave me. So you need a lot of luck from that draw, but he's doing exceptionally well, and he's a good horse, and I don't be surprised, although he won a Group 1 over 1,000 metres at Kenilworth 1,000, which is a different 1,000. I'd like to, as the season goes, I may end up running this horse even over more ground, over a mile. But let's see how it goes, the 1400. He is a classy horse, and he's doing exceptionally well back home, but you need a lot of luck from that draw.
He's a classy horse. He's doing exceptionally well back at home. The comments about Gimme a Prince, very, very upbeat there from Dean Kannemeyer. And yeah, this horse, we actually saw the rerun of him when winning on the 28th of Jan. It was not of March, my apologies there, when he won the Cape Flying Championships. And what a performance from this individual. And he's a horse that's always been rated from day one. Since his debut performance, there was lots of talk about him, and he won. And he's actually furnished into quite a talented and smart sort. He obviously beat Rio Kurari, and then last time out in the Diadem, beaten behind Bereave. His form lines have been franked. It's strong form lines that he brings into the race, and despite him being drawn deep, he's the horse that they have to beat. It's a quality race that you'd look foolish to narrow your selections down to 2 or 3 runners, but I'm going to narrow it down to 2 horses, and the only other horse that I'm going to include is number 8, Trip of Fortune, who was a facile winner last time out up in the Highveld, winning that horse chestnut race, and he beat MK's Pride. He's unbeaten over the trip, so he's Gimme a Prince. I make it a race in 2s between 8 and 12, and I think those 2 horses will fight it out, but what a cracking renewal of the Drill Hall Stakes this year.
I don't mind being called a fool after this race, because I'll tell you, I'm going to go all in here with Gimme a Prince. There is super quality around this individual. There are Group 1 winners. There are horses in tremendous form. There are horses that have been backed. One of them, Desert Miracle, Hollywoodbets 10-1 into 5-1. I mean, she is just a superb filly. She showed it from day one. I can still remember. You can see she's 1 from 1 at this course, 1 from 1 over the course and distance. That day when she won the Golden Slipper, she won it by 8 lengths. She beat Kayleen. I can remember that race clearly. And then I think her next start, which was the first as a 3-year-old, she won it nearly by 10 lengths. It was a small field. She was winning by steeplechase margins, this filly, when she started off her career. And she took a long time before she got that next career win, which was her 4th career win or 5th career win, but it was a Group 1 down in Cape Town, and then she won another Group 1. She's in tremendous form. I think she has to be respected. Number 3, Desert Miracle. Of course, Trip of Fortune. I really liked last time out in the Horse Chestnut Stakes. What a training feat from Candice Bass Robinson to take the horse down. She always rated him, and if you ignore this, that one start, which was in the King's Plate, his form is solid. And then this horse, Gimme a Prince, well, he is not a straightforward horse, when it comes to his racing career, because you have a look at it on paper. He's only had 2 runs as a juvenile. He's only had 2 runs as a 3-year-old. But whatever the issues that Dean Kannemeyer has had with him, he seems to have ironed things out, because he's now racing and racing regularly. This is the only time in his career where we see him racing more regularly than in the other seasons. And he's won the Cape Merchants, he's won the Cape Flying. His form lines are just superb. We talk about Trip of Fortune coming out to win the Group 1. Gladiatorian the other day, who finished last or closer to last in that race, came through to win the in full flight handicap. Rio Kurari winning the other day. I mean, his form lines are all there to say. Correct. And the one thing that I want to say is that I was listening to Kannemeyer and his interview there, and he wants to try and stretch this horse over 1,600 meters. At this stage of his career, I personally feel, whilst he's been doing well over 1,000 and 1,200 meters, his best distance looks to be 1,400 meters. This horse, I think, if he takes his place in that Golden Horse Casino Sprint, he'll be very hard to beat. That's the way I see it. I know Rio Kurari seemed to bounce back the other day. Bereave is a nice horse. We saw the computer form sprint winner win well. Isi Vungu Vungu. Master Archie was absent from that race, but this individual over 1,400 meters, Dean touched on one thing in that interview. He said a lot of these horses will be prepping for things to come, and he has to start somewhere with this horse. I don't think he's starting somewhere with this horse. I think he's going to start somewhere with this horse in KZN on a winning note. So I like the horse a lot, Rael. I'm going to go all in. I'm writing it down before you start telling me to include horses. 12 a banker in the Pick 6.
That's horse number 12, Gimme a Prince, and he's quite bullish on this horse getting the job done in the Drill Hall Stakes on Saturday.
We haven't touched on William Robertson. I mean, he's a very good horse, and he's got the run of the race from draw 1.
Yeah, he's definitely got lots in his favour, whereas numbers 8 and 12, they've who Dees and myself, we go in with those two horses. And yeah, William Robertson, he's got the huge draw advantage on them. He's a win over the trip. But I just feel that the formulas that those two horses bring into the race are far superior than what William Robertson does bring into the race. His penultimate start behind Under Your Spell, yeah, I thought maybe a bit disappointing. He was expected to win on that day. His win when he beat Quantum Terry was a nice run, but I just feel that he'll be held by numbers 8 and 12 in this lineup, and I can't convince you that you've got to include number 1, William Robertson Dees.
Yeah, well, there's support for Desert Miracle, and that is very interesting to support. 10 to 1, the guys thought too generous. The form that she's in, the Group 1 races that she's been winning, the fact that she's unbeaten at the track as a young horse, as a 2-year-old, 10 to 1 look generous. We'll take the 10 to 1. That has shortened into 5 to 1 on Hollywood Bets. Okay, wrapping up, Rael, I'm 12, a banker in the pick 6. I've written it down. But for guys that need cover, what you suggesting?
I'd suggest horse number 8, Triple Fortune, as the cover to horse number 12, Give Me a Prince. It's going to be a cracking race. We look forward to seeing the Drill Hall Stakes come Saturday over 1,400 meters. 8 and 12, the two horses for me in race number 6.
I bet with Interbet only. They're a fantastic site. I've never had any issues with them. They are very professional. There's never a problem. You deposit money, 2 seconds later it's in your account. You withdraw, which I do very occasionally, and I believe it's also 2 seconds it's in your account.